6:46, time now for the morning rush. Air support video from APD is giving us a look at two incidents involving drivers attempting to escape from police. After midnight on Sunday, 21-year-old Brian Rosales evaded police before his damaged tires gave out. That's according to police, who say that same day APD air support followed 20-year-old Isaac Suina to the University of New Mexico hospital parking garage, where he was arrested. The trial for the man accused of orchestrating shootings at 4 politicians' homes is being delayed for the time being. The trial of Solomon Pena was supposed to get underway this week. It's unclear why the judge chose to reschedule, but did say Pena's attorney is no longer representing him. An Albuquerque city employee is waking up behind bars, accused of beating up a man in front of the Frontier restaurant on Central. Back in June, a woman told police that she was leaving the restaurant with her husband when 2 people tried to steal her purse. Police say 36-year-old Alfred Flores then came out and put her husband in a headlock, causing him to pass out. Ryan.
A chilly start, but a warmer afternoon. Now, there will be a weak cold front moving through the northeastern areas, only slightly cooler today. But as that cold front moves through tomorrow and then the atmosphere stabilizes, generally a warmer day tomorrow.
Child welfare advocates are upset after hearing a proposed rule change at CYFD. The change would broaden the department's hiring pool. A new proposal is being considered that would change the language on background checks and employment history verification. CYFD said that those who have felony convictions would still be removed from the pool. State lawmakers are frustrated after learning millions of dollars of tax dollars meant for hospitals was never used. A report from the Legislative Finance Committee found hospitals became less profitable in 2022 and 2023, but are still making a significant amount of revenue. The state has invested millions into hospitals and rural providers, but as of now, the money has not been touched. E-bike riders now have more places to enjoy their hobbies here in Albuquerque. A new law allows all classic or electric bicycles on paved trails, as well as open space designated by the Parks and Rec Department. The Parks and Rec Department has a map showing which open space trails allow them. Ryan.
A little bit of a chilly start, sunny at 55 right now. The sun's actually about to rise here in Albuquerque, warming up to about 85, 86 degrees today, drying out as well, not too windy, and we'll be seeing warmer air near record high temperatures later this week.
An Albuquerque artist is using his gift to help others who have experienced tragedy due to gun violence. Ryan Saavedra lost his son, Ryan Jr., 3 years ago when he was shot and killed at an Albuquerque park. After finding closure, Saavedra is donating a painting to the Albuquerque Police Department's Family Advocacy Center. 2 murals painted on an Albuquerque overpass will now be allowed to stay. NMDOT said was supposed to remove a pair of murals at the I-25 overpass at Lead, saying they were not authorized. After the public rallied behind the murals, they now say if the artist can maintain them and provide proper documentation, they can stay for years to come. Well, it's widely believed that it was a giant asteroid that wiped out dinosaurs on planet Earth. Now, scientists at Sandia National Labs are working to make sure we don't end up like them. Scientists created what's called a Z machine that emits a burst of electromagnetic waves, which could land on an asteroid and push it away from Earth. Ryan.
And taking a look at traffic, no major accidents or slowdowns to be reported right now. Let's take a look at Tracker. It's heading north right now on I-25, and we do notice some cars on the roadways. No traffic as of now, slightly higher volume though. We'll have more updates throughout the morning commute.
A boy who was abducted in California is found safe more than 70 years later. Luis Albino was 6 years old when he disappeared at a West Oakland park in 1951. Albino was raised by his kidnapper on the East Coast, but a DNA search by his niece, Aldia Alquin, helped him reunite with his family.
And now it's time for the 5 facts. And at number 5, it's widely believed that there was a giant asteroid that wiped out dinosaurs on Earth. Now, scientists at Sandia National Labs are working to make sure we don't end up like the dinosaurs. Scientists are researching how to deflect an asteroid headed our way. They created what's called an AZ machine, the most powerful X-ray generator on Earth. It emits a burst of electromagnetic waves which could land on an asteroid and push it away from Earth.
On number 4, new data is showing how effective the more than 20 speed cameras installed around Albuquerque have been since being installed 2 years ago. That data indicates the number of drivers going 10 miles or more over the speed limit. It's dropped by 42 to 90% depending on the camera. The city is issuing more than 200,000 traffic violations since the start of the program. Mayor Keller says the city is working on adding 40 more cameras.
And at number 3, it's a chilly start. 33 Alamosa, 56 Albuquerque, 62 Carlsbad. Slightly warmer to start for many in the southern areas. Warming up with only a very slight chance of rain in the southern mountains today, but elsewhere sunny and very warm. Slightly cooler out to the northeast. And tomorrow it'll be cooler a little bit to the south, warmer to the north. Mostly dry air persists.
And number 2, a proposed rule change that would broaden the hiring pool within CYFD has child advocates up in arms this morning. If passed, the rule would change language on background checks and employment history verification. One key detail the department wants to take out of the current code: the language disqualifying anyone with a misdemeanor conviction directly related to whether the applicant can provide a safe, responsible, and morally positive setting for care. Yesterday, the department confirmed that the change would widen the pool for candidates seeking employment. A public hearing on the proposed rule change is scheduled for October 24th. And number 1, air support video from APD is giving us a look at 2 incidents involving drivers attempting to escape from police. Just after midnight on Sunday, an Albuquerque police traffic officer saw a Dodge Charger speeding westbound on Central near downtown. Air support at one point clocking the car in at 140 miles per hour on I-40. Officers attempted to stop the driver multiple times before deploying a spike strip. The driver, 21-year-old Brian Rosales, kept going before his damaged tires forced him to stop. That same day in downtown, APD Air Support started tracking the silver BMW after it fled from a traffic stop. Albuquerque police followed that driver, later identified as 20-year-old Isaac Suina, to the University of New Mexico Hospital parking garage.